Good morning, everybody. It is 7 o'clock, so that means it is go time. So let's get it going. Thank you for watching, tuning in. Those who watch it later, thank you so much for watching. So we're going to get ready to start this time. So 8 minutes, here we go. Today, we're going to talk about Home Alone. And we're going to go way back about 30 years ago. There was a movie came out in 1990 called Home Alone about a family who was going on a trip right around the Christmas season. And the smallest one in the group, Kevin, ended up getting left behind. Now, you may think, oh man, Home Alone, I remember that movie. But I need you to look at the real context of that movie. And so as we go into this thing, I want you to realize this. The youngest one, the smallest one, the one who seemed the most incapable, got left behind. And I need you to look at your life, because many of you look at your life and you think so much time has gone by. You think you miss your opportunity. You think you miss your chance at being great and doing the most you want to do, but you haven't. Look at yourself like Kevin. What I love about Kevin is when Kevin got left behind by the most important people, he still knew he was important because he had to survive. He had to fend for himself. And you're in a position where you just simply have to learn how to survive. You may be 40, 50, 60, or 70 years old, but you still haven't figured out how to survive in life. You're still struggling with the menial issues. You're still struggling with something as simple as people not liking you. You're still struggling with your own self issues. You're still struggling with looking in the mirror at yourself. And it's time to get beyond that. The time that has gone by has been a time for you to learn and mature. It's time to get like Kevin. And so I need you to understand something about time. Time is not the enemy. Not being wise with time is. And even though you may look at your life and say, I should be here by now, that is one of the most poisonous thoughts we can have when we look at our former life or look at how much time has gone by and feel like I should be here by now. I should have done more than what I have by now. What that has done is given an opportunity to sow seeds along the way. Now it's time for them to sprout. Anything that grows has to go through a process. And even though the time has gone by, it is your time. You may be alone, but that's okay. So when you look at Kevin was left behind by the most important people who forgot about him. And this is what I need you to do. I need you to forget about some people. I need you to get into a state where it's time to purge from a lot of the people you used to deal with, a lot of the thoughts you used to have, a lot of the habits you used to have. It's time to leave them behind. Because you can't go forward if you're still trying to pull a weight that is not needed. And that weight can be some of the people who are closest to you. Most times it is. Because what happens is when those who are closest to us tend to walk away from us or tend to hurt our feelings, it tends to put something on the inside of us. Sometimes it's anger and frustration. But you got to learn how to take that anger and frustration and turn it into gasoline. Any vehicle, anything that has to have gasoline, it cannot function without it. And it costs to get gasoline. Understand, it costs to get gasoline. So it costs for you to get that invigorated feeling in you to go forward. So this is why there are times when you need to be home alone. You need to be isolated. You need to be without the people you thought you loved that love you, the people you thought you could trust. You need to be without that job that just fired you, even though you thought, oh, I'm the bomb, I can do whatever. No, because what it's going to do is force you to use your creativity. See, one thing about Kevin, when Kevin was left by himself, it had to do something to him he wouldn't have done before. He had to realize just how smart he was, just how bright he was, just how is it he could do something that the rest of his family could not have done while they were going on that trip. So this is why you have to get into those places of isolation. This is why sometimes you have to tell people, hey, I'm done with you for right now. And maybe I'm done with you forever. It's almost like fasting from people. You have to do that. Fast from your negative thought. Fast from the thought that all this time has gone by and I haven't done anything with my life, because you have done something. Just because you don't see the fruit of your life doesn't mean you haven't bore fruit. Understand that. I'm going to say that again. Just because you have not seen certain fruit in your life does not mean you have not bore fruit, because you have bore fruit in your life. You may not be able to see it, but along that journey, in that time you felt has gone by so much, there's somebody you have touched, somebody you have inspired. But here's the thing, I need you to touch yourself. I need you to inspire yourself, because one thing about us as people, we're good about trying to encourage everybody else. We want everybody to live the good life. We want to try to give everybody else direction and guidance, but we need to look in the mirror and say the same things we're saying to everybody else. How is it we have so much wisdom and so much we can give to others, but we're slighting ourselves? When Kevin was left alone, Kevin had no idea how smart he was. He had no idea how he could outmaneuver those who were trying to get him. There are people who are trying to get you, and you got to figure out how to outmaneuver them. And again, most time it's going to be somebody closest to you, because that's when it matters the most. That's when it hurt the most, when it's somebody that you've had that relationship with, and now you see they're trying to get you. What are you going to do? It's time to go into survival mode. All right, it's time to go into attack mode. And I'm not saying go out and physically attack somebody, but it's time to attack with your creativity. It's time for you to figure out, man, what am I on this life for? Why was I even born? What is it I'm given that can cause me to survive that nobody else has? Kevin had to do that as a young boy, being left way behind. Please understand this. I hope you're in a state of being left behind. I really do. Because when you're left behind, when you feel like you have nobody, even though you do, that's when you realize the somebody you do have is your own creativity. And you're just not using it. It's time to wake it up. It's time to get to a place where you say, you know what, I can do this. Because here's the thing, you've already been doing some form of it before. Understand this about Kevin. Everything Kevin did to get himself out of trouble, he'd already seen it watching a movie. Understand that there's a lot you have already seen in your life that is preparing you to be the great creator you are of your own destiny. Your destiny is not dead. It's delayed because you have not done what it takes to open your box of creativity. Okay, look at it like this. On your birthday, you look for gifts. Mother's Day, if you're a mother, you look for gifts. Father's Day, if you're a father, you look for gifts. Christmas, you look for gifts. And you open that gift with so much joy because you have received something. Understand this, your creativity, it was given to you at birth. So it is just time for you to go into the bag. It's time for you to rip the wrapping paper off to get to that gift of your creativity. If you really want to expand yourself, if you really want to see greater horizons, if you really want to take your life to the next level, it's time for you to open that box of creativity. Home alone, you're left right now, you're hurt right now. In your most hurting state, that's when you can be the most creative. Why? Because you have no choice but to. You feel like I have no other options. You feel like, you know what, I'm done and I'm out, but there's something I got to be able to do. Here's the thing, if your lights get turned off, you're going to figure out how to see. If your water gets turned off, you're going to figure out how to still get water so you can live life. And this is the time of your life. I hope in your natural life, in your physical, mental, and spiritual life, your lights have been turned off. I hope your water has been turned off. I hope everybody's walked away from you. I hope everybody told you you're done, you're nothing. Because now's the time where you have to get to your creativity. And being left has been an opportunity for you to mature. Now, this is when you gain your stamina. You learn how to handle life's issues. You go back and you remember what initially drove you to be the person you are. And so here it is. My time is almost up. But again, I hope you're in that dire state of emergency to where you say, you know what? I got to do an outcast. I got to get up, get out and do something. Don't let the days of your life continue to pass by. Even though the time has gone by, it has matured you. It has brought you to the person you are. Now it's time to go out and make a difference. And that difference first have to start with you. Before you keep trying to encourage everybody else, this is what I want you to do. Before you try to encourage somebody else today, do it for yourself before you say anything to somebody else. Have a great day. And as I always say, make today your glory, or tomorrow it will be somebody else's story. See you all on Thursday. Have a dominating, in command, fantastic day.